this just keeps getting weirder. And by weirder, I mean more and more obvious. You have Chris Krebs, who was the director, I believe he's the head of the Cyber Intelligence and Security Administration, or the agency, what have you, CISA. He was in charge of basically all of the security and cyber tech. And he came out, if you recall, and said that the president was wrong, that the election was the most secure election we've ever had. And so he was fired. And a lot of people thought that this was retribution. They thought, well, the president had said that the election was rigged. So if it was secure and the cyber agency head, Chris Krebs, is coming out and saying that the president's wrong, then when he gets fired, surely it's just the president, lashing back at the former head. He's now mad, right? There's no chance that any of the major agencies have been hacked already. In fact, what's this? DHS, the Treasury, the DOJ, DOD, everyone's been hacked. How have they been hacked? They've been hacked with, they're saying Russian, perhaps? Russian technology? Is that possible? They had FireEye, which is a software. Then they had SolarWinds Orion, which is a company that runs a lot of the networking and infrastructure for DHS, DOJ, DOD, the Treasury. So this huge government hack that we don't get too deep into the details of, because frankly, it's kind of over my head as far as the tech goes. But the point is that these companies are not just running DHS, DOD, DOJ, all these things. They are, well, you can see already the news trying to say that that this is Russian. Well, this is all Russian stuff. It's not anything to do with anyone else but Russia. Russia. Dominion also uses this software, this firm, which I think is interesting. SolarWinds is also running Dominion. And then you have this. Then you have this from Twitter. It says, I've been on the phone recently with colleagues about the hack all morning. None of us can figure out why CISA chose this particular response to the breach. And then they're quote tweeting the breach that says the emergency directive calls for federal civilian agencies to review their networks for indicators of compromise and disconnect or power down SolarWinds Orion products immediately. That's interesting. First, you'd expect, they say, this sort of directive to be internally facing, so not tweeting it like an alarm going off to people that you would otherwise just send a message to internally, because you don't want to tell the people that are hacking you that you're aware. So they're saying you're mitigating steps, especially when your point of attack vectors are DD or DLL files. And it goes on from there, but they get to this piece. It says, so now we have a known breach of the Commerce Department. The breach was done silently through the DLL registry. The file was transmitting data for months. They said this happened maybe in June or July. Now here's the kicker. Almost every agency uses the SolarWinds product. Who else uses SolarWinds product? Dominion, like we see. So, okay. So what is the potential then, as this person says, that Dominion uses SolarWinds 2020.2.1, that was the update, and they say, what are the likelihood that that was the update pushed on election night? And what's the likelihood that they were then owning? This says, what happens when you have access to both voter data and voting systems? Complete chaos and corruption in the voting result. So I think that all ties into this. This is General Michael Flynn obviously tweeting, says Michigan forensics report shows a massive breakdown in national security and must be dealt with immediately. At Real Donald Trump must appoint a special counsel now. And if you don't realize what that means, it means this. It means that the bombshell coming out, that the forensic report shows they almost 69%, I want to say that, it's almost 69% errors in Dominion. Oh my God. Okay, so is it possible then that maybe Michigan voted 80-20 for Trump? I would have said that. I think I did say that before the election. So this fraud will come out. And this is just the beginning, but I think what you're seeing is the firing of Chris Krebs. The fact that when he got fired, everyone said, this is Trump being Trump. This is Trump being a corrupt politician who's getting rid of anyone who's not a yes man. Trump said the election was rigged. This guy said it wasn't. Therefore, he's got to go. In reality, Trump is just getting rid of one of the people holding up this farce. when they've probably known for a long, long time about these hacks? Do you think that Donald Trump and the military are just sitting back and unaware that all these agencies and departments have been corrupted? Because he's been calling it out. And ever since you see the news come out that says, hey, look at all these agencies that have been hacked. And they say, well, it must be Russia. Within hours, they're saying it's Russia. They have no reason to say it's Russia other than, well, we're not going to say it's China, right? Because they're on the take. So maybe they do have a reason to say it's Russia. Is China able to pay people to say it's Russia? Meanwhile, they're taking over voting systems and every other media organization. You tell me in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you do everything else that you can do as this avalanche continues of good information coming out. And the salt mines continue to fill up and to flow. Make sure that you help keep America afloat.